house. It's a work in progress. It's supposed to be about my paintings. I put all the paintings here. I have my living room empty because I want to fill it with the paintings. And yeah, we are here to sell one. Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to find a technique, like a style. Like when you think about Picasso, you know how he did his stuff. You think about Van Gogh, you know how he did his stuff. So yeah, so the paint house is all about that. So me trying to find my own style. I started last year. Yeah, it's a bit weird because I've been painting and drawing for over, I don't know, over 10 years, 12 years. And then I started school and the painting just took a backseat to everything. And then I don't know what happened last year. I missed it. I guess I missed painting and all that. So I just went to the bookshop and bought the colors. I bought some watercolors. I bought the oils, brushes, canvas. And then I started painting. And then I heard about an exhibition somewhere. And I tried to get one piece, but they didn't like it. I was a very quiet boy. Yeah, my mom tells me I was very quiet. She would just leave me alone, and I wouldn't cry that much. And then, but when I was a kid, I wasn't like into art. I just like doing kid stuff, you know. My older brother, I look up to him a lot, so we would go around, you know, the town, create mischief, you know, and yeah, we would just what little boys do. Go like we lived in a small town with a lot of forest and everything, so we would go there and just hunt birds, climb trees, and take fruits, and then yeah, as I got older, my brother started loving computers and art. He was drawing a lot, so I got fascinated. I was like, I want to draw too. The bridge came after I started drawing. I went, I found like there's this comic book from South Africa called Super Strikers. It's about football, and it's like when I was a child, I really liked football. Yeah, I dreamt of going to Spain and playing for Real Madrid because at that time it was a period of Zinedine Zidane and all the other cool players, Ronaldinho, all the best of the best, right? And yeah, I used to practice football every day, and also I will draw a lot. Like play football, draw, watch cartoons. Play football, draw, watch cartoons. At that time, I didn't know how cartoons were made or anything about animation. I was just like, I'll either play football or be a comic artist and draw cartoons. So, and then when I was about 13, my love for football died. Yeah, I didn't like it anymore. And yeah, I stopped being very physical as I became more of a nerd. And yeah, then I just started more into comics and cartoons. So after that, I went to high school, right? And I found my art teacher. He was really good. Like, he was really good. And like, when most teachers would tell you, like, don't draw, don't waste your time drawing, and like, you know, he would tell us, like, when you're studying and you're bored, you know, and you have the exercise book, just draw inside the exercise book. And then he would give us extra credit for it. Like, if you go to class and show him, like, I was studying and I was drawing this on my exercise book. I was like, oh, that's good. So you get an A. Like, it was an easy A. You could just get an A, like, you pass your cards. Like, you'll do an exam and get like 20%, and then you just show him the sketches, and you get like a 80 out of 100. That's an automatic A. So it's like, that was always fun. It was my favorite subject, and he would push us, you know, in doing different ways. I remember one of the best time was it was a competition, like a poster painting competition. I was in my third year, and then he came like, the competition was due in 1 week. So he came and told me, like, it's a competition, like the Kenyan embassy and the Indian embassy, they're celebrating something with Mahatma Gandhi, like an anniversary. So it was like, you're supposed to show peace and all that. Then he came and told us, like, it's a competition, right? So, and you have like less than a week to do a painting and submit it. Yeah, I didn't have it, so like, he got really mad, and then he told me, like, all right, it was very early in the morning, like around 7. So he told me, right, take your desk and come to the art room. We had like all the art students at an art room, right? So I just carried my whole desk, like all the books and everything, and I brought it to the art room. Then he told me, like, you have until 11 a.m. Like 11 a.m. That's when the submissions were going out. So you have until 11 a.m. You have to finish. You have to start a painting and you have to finish it. Yeah, and yeah, I was a bit excited because no classes until 11 a.m. But then I was petrified because I didn't know what to do. So I started drawing, and I came with this poster of a dove flying with an olive leaf, and I wrote something like, send the first dove, the others will follow, peace begins with you, right? Because it was all about peace with Mahatma Gandhi. And then I submitted it, and I didn't think I'd win it, so it's just like, all right, just to get this old man off my back, let me just do the painting, right? And 2 weeks went by, and yeah, I got called to the principal's office, right? And yeah, I thought I was going to be in trouble because like, and I remember in high school I didn't care much about my appearance. I would just wake up in the morning, just put on, because we had a dress code, you have to put a tie, a sweater, and I was a senior, so you have to put a blazer, and I didn't used to do all that, so I just showed up to my principal's office looking ragged, and yeah, it wasn't the best first impression I made. And then then he told me, like, all right, like, it was me and the other kid who like drew really well the whole school, like a superstar artist, and then he told us, like, you two have been selected. My characters in the stories, I got into animation right after high school, and it was my big brother who, again, he told me, like, hey, you don't have to be a fine artist because you'll starve. You'll starve before you ever make something, right? And he told me, like, you know, film as, you know, you can get a lot of money in film. It's better than, you know, fine art, but then he told me, like, you can start studying animation. So when I started animation, my passion was to tell stories, like I had a lot of stories. I still have a lot of stories. And the best part about animation is you can, unlike film, like which I studied film, but unlike film you're limited to your actors, what they can do, what they cannot do. Like you're limited to location. Yeah, you can't choose. So for me, going towards animation was like the only option, right? And all the best directors, Spielberg, Wes Anderson, all the best of the Peter Jackson, they're all good animators. So yeah, they're the best. They started in animation, and it just leads to it's a natural progression. So when I learned that, I was like, yeah, I want to be a good director someday. So yeah, so so I studied the animation. I did my first project. Uh, wasn't so good. No, it was terrible. We didn't finish it. I was in my second year because I was still learning. We didn't finish it, but yeah. So and the overall outcome was terrible. But yes, it was still one of the best in the classes. So yeah, I don't know if that's much to brag about, but so my second project came a year after, and this time I was studying animation full time, no film, no, just specializing. And it was called Fragile, right? It's about an egg that's trying to keep up with everything. Like it's more like what's happening in society today, right? Like you have people like you see your friends like, oh, they bought a car. So you're like, I want to buy a car. So you go in debt and try to service to buy a car because your friend, you don't want to look like you're a loser, right, to your friend. So that's the moral of the story. It was like, people chasing other, you look at the social media, your friends like, like this person is holding like a lot of money, is like drinking champagne and all that. So you try to live the same dream, which if you can't do it, you just end up in the wrong place, So the egg saw another egg, and he wanted to, like, the egg had jumped off a tray and didn't crack, right? Because of the popular nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty jumps off the wall, it doesn't, and he had a great fall and died. But he saw like another egg did it, and it didn't die. So he said, if he can do it, I can also do it. So yeah, so he jumped off and he died. So yeah, with my films, I try to mirror the society. I try to see like what's happening, and I try to give people another way of living, because we have, like, it may not be the right one to them, but it's how I do it. So like I try to capture the deepest like moral stories, and then tell them in a funny way, or in a way that is engaging. The muses in my life, it's not about, I don't know if it's about lust, because when I was in high school, my teacher told us, like, you can, like, being an artist is being shameless, right? You don't have shame, right? You shouldn't feel shame for your work. So it would like encourage us it would like, most of our art classes involve zero learning, and they will just bring like a big book with all the paintings in the wall, like Da Vinci, the Raphael, the all the best, like the Van Gogh. Like I learned that thing most of the artists when I was 12, 14, right? So it will just, most of the time, will just show up, and then in the middle you'd have like a painting of a fully naked woman or a naked man, and then it would go like, well, yeah, I guess most of you are too young to see that, but being an artist means this: you don't have shame. You can draw anything, right? And for me, like, I tend to draw more women because I find they're more fun. all the calves are more fun than men, unless the men have like muscles and all that. Drawing a man is boring, right? So yeah, with women you have different shapes. Like with a man you get the V or the straight plank. So it's a bit boring, but yeah, but it has gotten me in trouble with my mother a lot. She doesn't like it. Yeah, she doesn't like me, like the drawings. So she called me one day and told me like, you have to stop doing those drawings. And I tried to explain like this. Yeah, there's a drawing I did. I was inspired by like a story my ex told me. It's like I didn't know that when the full moon is up, it's when it's like when women have their menstrual cycles, and then I never knew that. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I drew a painting of it. Like I drew just a picture. So it's supposed to be a painting, right? The naked girl and all that. So then my mom called me like, you shouldn't post such stuff. And I think I spent like 30 minutes on the phone trying to explain it to her. But still, yeah. But I get my inspiration from different sources. My muses are the relationships I have with people, like friends, lovers, everything. But my biggest source of inspiration is actually nature. I like nature a lot. I think I have my best ideas when I'm just relaxing around like a place where it's green. I can hear the birds and all that. Currently, there is no film. Like the film industry is there, it's there. They're doing a lot of stuff, but the animation is not yet. It's still infant. It's like the 1910s, 1914s when Walt Disney was doing. It's the same thing. Like right now, there's no infrastructure. Yeah, nobody's making any films. All we have are shorts, like comedy, like funny clips, like they used to do back in 1914, right? And then a few days ago, my friend called me, and he told me like, he asked, have you seen the Black Panther movie? And I was like, I'm not going to bother with it. Then he's like, why? And then I told him like, because Marvel ruined my childhood. But then he said like, but the cinemas are full. Like, yeah, they're like full. The tickets are sold out and everything. And then a thought came to my mind like, yeah, maybe Kenya is ready now for film, right? Like, yeah, because we have compared to where we were like 10 years ago when I was a kid. I think I went to the cinema once, right? And the only thing I saw was Lion King, right? I was probably like 8. That was the first movie I watched, was Lion King and the Born Free movies. But then it was because my dad was working at the museum. And we went to the museum auditorium, and we got like free passes, and we watched the movies. Comparing then to now, like then we used to consume a lot of movies, right? But it was like home. You get the VHS, you just like a group thing, and the theater was not much. There wasn't much theater going, and there's a time when the cinemas in Kenya were closing, and then now we're experiencing a revival. So I think the future could be brighter for animation in Kenya, because there's a lot of stories we need to tell, like that the Black Panther movies, they will never tell because they're not African, they're not made in Africa.